Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day, good week in the market. It is May 23rd. We're going to review Friday, May 22nd. SPY. We're going to review the 0-day options I took, a small count challenge. Yeah, here's the 30-minute chart. This is actually DG's. Pretty sure it's just a copy of Eric's. You can find his Discord in the description. Gapped up, and just kind of grinded most of the day. IV did end up coming down. Candles did end up getting smaller. Lots of sporadic spikes of volume in candles, though. Not too sure if that was tweets or news or what was going on, but started out here. Let's see what I chart first. Gray was later. Wish I had this sooner though. I had gold. I put gold in there. I didn't see any precision buying or selling at this point until this. Then I put green for that precision selling. Completed the inverse cup. Made a little handle and continued. Not much of a handle, not a head and shoulder or anything to come down. My purple actually was, now that I remember, was steeper. It was more like this. So this got closer to hitting it, but it still went through it. Same as this purple. So yeah, let's see what the trades. 10:04. I was in a call. Okay, yeah. So this was for this gray. Cup hadn't completed. I guess I did have gray at that point then. Yeah. So cup hadn't completed, and I figured gray would be my stop. So I was getting this for the upside. There's nice liquidity here for this to be an inverse head, and it didn't work out. So stopped it at on this candle. I don't know where. 103 to 83 cents. Somewhere in that candle I stopped it. Yeah. Now that the purple's like this, it's so much nicer to see what's going on. Would have been easier. Didn't trade anything through here. So I actually put an order. I put an order for calls on this candle. One of these, I think maybe this candle. Just because, well, there was a couple of reasons. One, it didn't really make much of a handle. And this purple was lower than it is here. But regardless, it was breaking back up into the purple. So it was more of a retracement trade, a wedge trade. Even though it did kind of break out of my wedge, it broke back into it. And I was looking for a zombie, as Eric puts it. Which I don't know if I'm supposed to take them if they just break back in. Of course, it could always grind down here. But yeah, I guess I had the green for precision buying, but I was just kind of charting it as this was happening. So anyways, I mentioned that because this was a great trade that I did end up missing. I put a limit order, it just didn't fill. I could have market order, I guess, but just had to limit. IView is still a little high, I think, in the morning. Ended up canceling this one once it came up. Like, once it was up here, I canceled it. Yeah, canceled it right here. And then at 11:19, I bought one. At 11:19, I bought two. At 11:21, I bought one. These are all calls. So it came up. At this point, I have gray. I'm pretty confident. I think I adjusted purple by then. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, I did. So it broke purple right here on 11:18. 11:19, I was buying a lot of those calls. I wasn't too confident in purple, maybe. I don't know. The price action was pretty grindy still at that point. There was no little micro inverse head and shoulder here or anything. But it had broken purple, and yeah, maybe because my size was a little bit more. Yeah, because I did end up getting 4 contracts on that one. 97 cents, $1.02, 97 cents. I mean, I was sizing up because this was the break. So I just executed this one poorly. Very poorly, unfortunately, I think. Let's see, is this the one? Yeah. Yep. So at 11:23, when this candle was really red, I dumped them. Yeah. And I guess, yeah, I think I even had a stop marker on these for this liquidity if it rejected this. But for some reason, I got in and then I don't know why I was flustered. I just jumped out. I'm not sure why. And it could have been, I didn't really have a clear stop maybe. And so once it broke back into the purple, I'm like, all right, I should just stop it out. That really sucked because that was a pretty large amount for this account. And yeah, so of course waiting would have helped mitigate all of that. If I just gotten one and then waited for the retest and gotten, you know, sized up, then you don't always get the retest. So that's what you have to be content with, just taking one. But yeah, I don't know what kind of got into me. It was kind of weird. I just quickly, it just started to go red, and I think it was a sizing. I think the sizing did kind of affect my desire to hold it for much of a drawdown. And somewhat a lack of confidence in that purple, I would say. So yeah, that was a bad one. 97 cents. Bought one, bought two for $1.02, bought one for 97, sold them all for 88. So I think that was like basically max. No, I don't know if that was max loss. Yeah, I was down pretty big at that point. I was like, I'm so upset with myself. And then of course it ended up turning red, turning green, and wicking. And then I'm like, well, all right, I'll get back in. It just wicked me out, which is hard to do. But I sized down, which is too bad now because it's a nice trade. But it was fine. It was kind of punishment for me for, yeah, not waiting for the retest and then not waiting for the candle. The problem is the candles close. Like sometimes some of these candles you wait to close and you're gonna be screwed. Like this stop right here, if I wait for that candle to close, you know, it's like way down here, but you know, I might have stopped it out down here. Like that's the tricky thing with the stops. Sometimes you have to wait for the candle to close. And so that was probably going through my head a little bit here. Like this candle might just keep growing. So I just like big a size, I just quick stopped out. Anyways, I got back in with two at 11.24 for 96 cents. So same price, really. Not as I sold it. It's more than I sold. So it ended up being a nice trade. Nice green candles. Sold one for $1.22 on this candle, actually. I kind of top ticked it near high of day. And then next one I sold for $1.09 at 11.32. So right there, once it broke that green that I charted from back there. So sold them both there. I think I was still red, but definitely made back some at that point. But it was just kind of a bummer because I was all ready for it. I did everything right other than just my execution on it. Like everything was there. Oh, and it's too bad because the nice bigger sizing, that would have been a great little setup. Could have been just cruising the rest of the day. But I'm fighting it then. Next one, 11.24. It's that one. That's right. Sorry. 131.32. There it is. I bought one put at 12.05. This was a zombie trade using purple for my stop, basically, and just looking for a handle on this cup that just formed. And let's see, where did I trade this one? 12.17 when I closed it, so I did end up holding through some of this liquidity being built. I closed it on this candle. Didn't get the bottom of this. I was looking for, I don't know, VWAP. I can't quite remember, but I closed it somewhere on that candle. Yeah. And then after that, 12.30 bought four. 12.30 and 12.32 bought 4 calls. Oh yeah, right here. Breaking purple. I didn't have this red at that point, so singing the same thing here. Bought a bunch of calls and stopped them out on this nasty candle here. So this one actually waited for the whole thing. Yeah, unfortunate. So this one I waited for that whole thing to close. It closed, and I closed out on that candle. So then this one I was down back down even greater than I was before, of course. Yeah. 32, 34, yeah. 34, 34. Yep, stopped out of those there. And then I was pretty much out of buying power. So 103 to 119. This was a beautiful inverse head and shoulder to grab that. Once I had that charted, then I did get a call there. Held it through all that. Stopped it out. Actually got wrecked by the market makers on this one. Not market makers, but the market in general. I was going to stop it, and once that candle closed, this thing just flashed down, and I stopped it down here. Stopped my call right there. Yep, that's right. This is a perfect spot to enter. But, of course, when I entered here, my stop wasn't going to be this gray. It was up here once it broke this gray, or this one. So, in this case, there was... I mean, maybe I can't consider the structure, this inverse head and shoulder. But, I don't know. Of course, this is much nicer structure, seeing this big dip down to gray for a nice inverse head. Like, this would have been a great pickup to buy calls. I was out of buying power, so it didn't really matter to me at that point. And this candle just sucked the life out of me. So, a little unfortunate. I poorly executed in a couple spots. And then, yeah, this is just unlucky to have it calls on this candle, and it just wreck you. And then here with it selling in the, I think this red, not the purple. So I should have maybe kept charting before I got so confident with that. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. They're the trades. It was a nasty red day though for me. Yeah, I sized up on the one that I stopped out, and then yeah. So there it is, 103. It's too bad because my green days this week have all been very muted, very small. Just skirting by, like I'd be red and then I'd get myself a little green, and pretty much that would be it. And then try not to do that on Fridays, but yeah, it's not loading. 103 down. Thanks for watching, guys. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Have a good Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you on Tuesday. Peace out.